saw a comment last week from ShirksDireWolf, and it got me thinking, because it's genuinely a smart question that most people don't think about. He asked, what's your take on this idea that more security increases your risk, because it makes your actions online stand out from crowd? And then, fair play to him, he answered his own question in a second paragraph, saying it's really about visibility versus invisibility. It's about reducing risk of your device getting tampered with, monitored, and tracked by advertisers and hackers. And yeah, he's right on both counts. And I'm going to explain to you why. And also going to show you something that might surprise you. Direct you lot. Shirks asked one of the most important questions in cybersecurity, and most people online get it completely bass-ackwards. See, here's how it works. When you browse without a VPN, without encrypted DNS, without any privacy tools at all, your ISP can see every single website you visit, when you visited it, how long you stayed, and what you searched for. Yeah, Timmy, that includes that femboy pleasure video you've bookmarked for repeat viewing. And yeah, that includes when you use browsers incognito mode. In a country like ours, under legislation like Internet Connection Records, your ISP is legally required to store that browser history for 12 months, and police can access it without a warrant. That's law. Has been since 2016 under Investigative Powers Act. Every single thing you do online is logged, stored, and accessible to anyone with a badge and an internal sign-off form, with no judge required. But when you stick on a VPN, all your ISP can see is that you're sending encrypted traffic to a server. They can see there's a tunnel and region tunnel connects to, but they can't see what's inside it. And here's where Shirk's first point kicks in. Because yeah, that encrypted tunnel does look different from everyone else's unencrypted traffic. To your ISP, you've gone from being a bloke browsing in plain sight to a bloke with a locked door. And let's be honest, in a country where your government is actively trying to restrict VPN access for children, monitor VPN usage through Ofcom, and has members of parliament openly calling for VPN bans, that locked door attracts a fair bit of attention. He's not wrong about that. When there's a locked door in an abandoned building, it makes you curious what's behind it. But what most people miss is it don't fucking matter how curious they are, because they can't get through it. Curiosity without access is just frustration, and Shirk's second point nails it. Because for 99% of people, your actual threat is not GCHQ or MI5 sat in some bunker wondering why Dave from Leeds has got a VPN running. Your real threat is advertisers building a profile on you, data brokers selling your browser habits, and opportunistic hackers scanning for soft targets. Against those threats, a VPN is a concrete wall. You're no longer a wide-open target, and you can't be easily profiled, tracked, or exploited. And that's before we even get into browser fingerprinting, which has replaced cookies as the primary tracking method across most advertising networks. Your screen resolution, your installed fonts, your GPU, your typing rhythm, your scrolling speed, all are combined into a unique profile that follows you everywhere. Now, VPN alone doesn't stop that, but it's one layer of a bigger picture. Now, before I go on, this video's not sponsored, but I want to draw your attention to Surfshark. And if you're not using a VPN, you're basically walking around the internet with your ass out for everyone to see. I've been using Surfshark for a fair few years now. They've got over 4,500 servers across 100 countries. Every single one running on RAM, so there's no Stewart, ever. And Deloitte has audited that twice to prove it. Unlimited devices on one account, built-in ad blocking, and if you go for Surfshark One Plus, you get Incognito bundled in, which goes after data brokers who are sat there selling your name, address, and phone number to any dodgy bastard willing to pay. It scrubs your info, keeps you scrubbed, and you don't have to lift a finger. They also offer extra protection through antivirus, alerts for any data breaches that involve your personal information, alternative ID gaining your anonymity when signing up for something you're not sure of, and even a completely private and ad-free web search. Click on my link in the description and you'll get up to 3 months free depending on your plan, plus 30-day money-back guarantee, and up to 86% off, so there's no excuses. If privacy matters to you, then go sort yourself out with Surfshark. Links down below. Let's get back to it. Right, let me show you what that bigger picture looks like. Because I don't just talk about this stuff, I actually live it. Now, some of my OG viewers know I spent time in cybersecurity and network engineering, and I practice what I preach. So here's what my setup looks like without giving away too much, because I'm not a fucking idiot. First things first, I'm not running Windows. I'm on CachyOS, which is a hardened Arch-based Linux distro. No telemetry phoning home to Microsoft. No Copilot watching what I'm doing. No recall taking screenshots of my life. I control what runs on my machine, what connects to internet, what gets sent anywhere. And every app on my system is containerised, running in its own isolated sandbox. So even if something malicious did get through, it's trapped in its own little cage with zero access to my actual system, my files, or aught else. It's like breaking into a house and finding yourself locked in a cupboard with no door handle. That's before we even get to networking. Layer 1. I got a VPN running on router level, connected to a UK server. That means every single device on my network, every console, every phone, every laptop, everything's encrypted before it even leaves me house. On my ISPCs is an encrypted tunnel to a UK server. That's it. Layer 2, on my desktop I've got a second VPN set up, also to a UK server. So even if someone compromised my router VPN, they'd hit another encrypted tunnel underneath it. 2 layers deep and they've still got no. Layer 3, I run a browser extension VPN set to random regions. That gives me more flexibility for my content work without exposing either of my underlying layers. And on top of all that, I'm running Brave Browser, which actively randomises my fingerprint data every session. Remember when I talked about browser fingerprinting replacing cookies? Brave fakes that natively, blocking trackers and ads at browser level, and scrambling what websites can see about my setup. So even before my triple VPN kicks in, my browser's already lying to every website I visit. So from operating system to browser to 3 layers of VPN, my ISP sees one encrypted tunnel, behind that is another, behind that is a third one pointing to a completely different country, and whatever's on other end is getting a randomised fingerprint from a containerised browser that gives note away. But it don't end there, because on top of that I use a FIDO2 hardware security key, and it's attached to my system login and KDE wallet, so note on my system opens without it. All my online accounts that support it require it too. That means if you want to get into my stuff, you need to physically have that key in your hand. No remote access, phishing attack or social engineering will get you past it because it requires physical presence. All my passwords are behind Bitwarden, so every single password is unique, randomly generated and stored on an encrypted vault, also tied to that FIDO2 key. And for accounts that don't support FIDO2, I use Aegis for 2-factor authentication, which is open source, stores tokens locally, and don't phone home to Google or Microsoft like their authenticator apps do. And that's using FIDO2 instead. And on top of all that, my files are encrypted with my own personal cipher. None of that AES or standard off-the-shelf encryption bollocks here, my own. It's a good luck cracking something you don't even know structure of. And here's my favourite bit. All my financial documents, tax stuff, my HMRC correspondence, all that sits on a completely separate machine that's not connected to any network. It's air-gapped and only connects to internet when I need to upload something to HMRC. And that window's about 2 minutes. Then it's gone. You would literally need to be sat waiting for me to plug it in, then crack through every layer of encryption I've got on there in less time than it takes to make a brew. I'm sorry, but unless you're elite, that's just not happening, kiddo. And what's behind all this fancy security? What am I protecting with this Fort Knox-style fortress I call my daily driver? Just a book I'm writing. Some game development files that don't resemble out close to a game yet. My video scripts. And an obese library of games that I'm sure you'll agree is obscene. That's all there is. No state secrets or dark web marketplace. I'm just a bloke from Yorkshire who makes YouTube videos and writes books. But I shouldn't need a reason beyond, 'cause I can and I want to. And this is where it gets scary, 'cause Keir Starmer stood up at London Tech Week and gave Apple and Google a 3-month ultimatum. Implement device-level scanning on every phone and tablet sold in this country, or we'll legislate to force you. He wants every device to scan your photos, your messages, your content at system level before encryption kicks in. Signal, one of the most respected encrypted messaging platforms in the world, immediately came out and called it dystopian and looking to pull their service from UK. Big Brother Watch Wind, it'll result in population-wide ID checks on every phone, tablet and laptop. NIMVPN said it's automated mass surveillance on consumer hardware. And Starmer's response is, this is not an impossible challenge. No, mate, it's not impossible. But it is a fucking authoritarian nightmare dressed up as child protection, and anyone supporting this play is a fool. This is the same government that's monitoring VPN usage through Ofcom using AI-powered third-party tools, where members at House of Lords voted 207 to 159 to ban VPNs for under 18s, pushing digital ID through BritCard, and told us age verification were about protecting children while companies like Authentics left verification credentials exposed for 18 months. And now they want to scan every image on your phone as you take it. That includes those special pictures reserved for your significant other. And even if sent via self-deleting message, it'll be scanned. So you get folk like Shirks here asking whether more security makes you a target, and answers, yeah, it does, but not in a way you should be worried about. Being a target of curiosity is infinitely better than being a target of exploitation. Government already considers encrypted traffic suspicious. Hackers already see unprotected systems as low-hanging fruit. Either way, you're a target. But with proper security, you'd be a target they can't actually hit. And that makes a big fucking difference. Top comment there, mate. Genuinely. And look, you don't need to be hiding something to deserve privacy. Your privacy and security ain't suspicious. It's a right at free world. And anyone who tells you otherwise is either trying to sell you something or control you. Probably both. If you like this video, YouTube says you'll like this and next. So go check that out, and I'll see you there, you magnificent